Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, hello, welcome to 2022. It's great to be back. My name is John and I'm going to be taking us through today's rock solid session. How do you feel? It's a new year. It's been a whole year since I last saw you. Not funny. This week we're thinking about what it means to be starting a new year, what it means to make New Year's resolutions, what we think about them, how we feel. So why don't you, if you're doing church at home today or in groups somewhere, turn to someone next to you and ask them these questions. Have they ever made a New Year's resolution? And if so, what was it? And how successfully did they keep to it? Have a go at that. I wonder what your weirdest or most ambitious New Year's resolution has been. I was having a chat the other day with my good friend Melody, who I'm sure most of you will know, and I was asking her this question. Melody, what has been your most ambitious New Year's resolution? And she told me that she once made a resolution to go to the gym every week for a year. Now, I'm not sure she managed to even go once that year, so it wasn't a very good resolution. It was maybe a little bit too ambitious, but I can't talk. I would be exactly the same. But why is it, do you think, that we like to make resolutions at this time of year? We're going to be thinking about that through the rest of this session, so mull that over, why don't you, whilst we play this amazing game. We are going to play New Year's Resolutions Mad Libs. Now, if you're familiar with Mad Libs, then you know what's coming. If not, then you're in for a treat. So here's how the game works. You will receive a printout. This printout is at the ends of the notes sections for this video, and it looks a little bit like this. So this is the printout that you will receive, and you'll see you have a list here of blanks, and you have to fill in the blanks with the most creative, most interesting types of words as you can, and they've got to fit these categories here. So for example, the first one says adjective, so you might say big or red or strong or something like that. So you have to go through and write down a word for each of these blanks. So you're going to have a go at that in the pause, and then once you've done that, your leader, who should have the notes for this video, will also have another page which they might have printed out, and that is a story page, a story sheet. It's a story, but it has lots of blanks in it. So you can see where this is going. Your leader is going to read out the story, and you've got to fill the blanks with your own words that you just wrote down on your sheet of paper. And we're going to see who came up with the weirdest, most creative, most wacky story that there is. So why don't you have a go at that now? New Year's resolutions, Mad Libs. The new year is not an inherently special time. There's nothing really about the switch from 2021 that is mystical or magical. In reality, it's just another day, but it is symbolic, and marking the new year offers us the opportunity for self-reflection, for looking at the past and looking to the future, and taking a stock of what is going on in our lives. Just like how events and decisions in the past have brought us to where we are today, the choices we're going to make will have a big impact on our future. So if I were to ask you what you think your life will be like in 5 years' time, I wonder what you would say. So how about I were to ask you, how old would you be? That's maybe an easy question to answer. But what about where you'll live and with whom you'll live, and whether or not you'll be in a relationship or single, or what kind of thing you'll be doing? Will you be working? What kind of job? Will you be studying? What will you be studying? All sorts of questions that are probably really hard to predict. But why don't you have a think now about these questions, what your life would be in 5 and 10 years' time, and then reflect on the following. What would be the hardest thing to predict about your life in 5 or 10 years' time? And do those predictions make you think about the decisions that you are making in the present? The Bible tells us that God knows our future and wants to help and direct us. And it also tells us that God gives us the choice to make our own path. So we're going to read some verses from the Bible. If you're in a group, you might want to split into 4 smaller groups. Or if you're by yourself, you might want to pick a couple of these or do all of them or just one. But we are going to read 4 different passages. So have a look at these passages and then have a chat about what you think they mean and what you think God is trying to say through those passages. Now, I think the overarching theme of all 4 of those passages is this, that God knows our past and our present and our future, and we can bring everything before Him. All of our thoughts and feelings and worries and hopes and decisions, we can bring them all to God. And I don't know about you, but one thing that I often find quite difficult is working out what my priorities are. So whether it's that I'm doing a task, that I'm doing something with work, and I need to figure out what are the subtasks that I need to do and in what order, or maybe it's something to do with life in general, but I can sometimes find that really hard. So what do I mean by that? I mean putting things in order of importance, determining how I'm going to spend my time, what am I going to put my effort, my energy into, or even money into. So I've got a list of activities here. And I need you to put them in order of what you think is most important to least important. So the list is going to appear on the screen and it's going to be in the notes to this video. So have a think and try and put them in an order of what you think is most important, in other words, the highest priority, and what you think is least important or the lowest priority. Have a go. So what did you rank the most and least important thing in that list? What do you consider your priorities in life? If we're really honest, I think that quite often reading our Bibles, praying, spending time with God, even things like going to church and sometimes coming to Rock Solid, that sort of thing, are not always up there on our priority list. And my question to you is, are you making God a priority in your life? Because faith is all about relationship with God. God invites us into a relationship with Him. He wants to have a relationship with us. And just like a relationship with a friend or a partner or a family member or a parent, we have to put in time and energy and work to make it work. Relationship is about commitment. It's about sticking around for the long haul. So why don't you have a think about what your priorities are going to be for this year, for 2022. What are the things that you really value, that you want to dedicate time and energy to? And how are you going to make your relationship with God a priority for this year? What's it going to look like? Brilliant. For this next thing now, you are going to need either a big piece of paper, maybe like A3 or even bigger, or lots of little bits of paper, bits of post-it notes, something like that. And what you're going to do is you're simply going to take your piece of paper and you're going to write nice and big on it 2022 right through the middle. Once you've done that, I want you to take a moment, have a think, and then in the pause that's going to come after this section, take a pen and write on that piece of paper around where it says 2022 some of the things that you know you're going to do or experience or face this year. And then you might also want to ask yourself how you feel about those things that you are going to do. So are you excited? Do you feel nervous? Is it a new thing? Are they things that you know already? So then I want you to write down the emotion, the feeling that is attached, that runs along with those experiences that you've just written down. So you should have your experiences for this year that you're going to face, and how you feel about them. And once you've done that, you should have all the things that you as a group will experience this year, and then all the different ways that you feel about those things. Now, we can give everything that we face to God because He cares for us and He wants a relationship with us. He's a big God and He promises to be with us wherever we go, whatever we do. So why don't you spend a few minutes now in your groups to pray about that. In whatever way that you as a group find comfortable, pray into those experiences, those things that you're going to face, and the feelings, the emotions that are attached to them. Fantastic! We are now at the end of our Rock Solid video. It's gone very quick for me. Do let me or someone else on the youth team know how you're finding these Rock Solid videos and how you're using them. And my challenge for you this week is to think about what we've been chatting about, that list of priorities or those thoughts of what is going to happen this year. And I want you to stick it somewhere, maybe by your bed, somewhere in your room, so that you can see it and notice it. And I want you to think about, amongst all those priorities and all those different experiences that you're going to face, how you are going to make God a priority in your life this year. And in the next Rock Solid video, we are going to be starting a brand new teaching series. So we can't wait to see you there. Have a lovely time until then. Bye.